No, right here.
Thank you. Just talking to a couple of the guys, the word consistency in Lane was a buzzword to kind of define the start so far. So, I mean, to get into this, as they play in close games, like even, third period, where are you seeing the kind of steps that you want to see take in that direction as far as consistency?
Just that attention to detail in certain areas. Like I've always said, it's all the little things that make the difference between winning and losing. So, to understand what those are and to execute those things. I think we've done a pretty good job so far. But again, it's a progression, and we got to continue to improve on certain areas, and that's what we'll do. But that's the consistency level that we need.
What was the first domino you had to knock down with this team to get it going in the direction you wanted to go to start things off?
I think just basically we changed the mindset of our hockey team, and I've talked about it quite a bit, just establishing a standard and an identity in which we want to play with. And, that was the message right from day one, and the guys have done a really good job of embracing that.
Lane, I noticed you brought a new forward into the penalty kill mix last game in Jaden Schwartz. I know part of that was Maddie was in the box, but what was it that led to that decision for you, and how did you think he did?
I thought he did good. He's a veteran guy who can play a multiple different positions and scenarios. And with Freddie Goudreau being out, we're down centerman, or at least penalty killing centerman. Maddie gets a penalty, so now we've got to make some decisions. And Jaden, we've talked to him. He killed penalties well in exhibition season, so that was an easy decision for me.
And what are your directives to your forwards on the penalty kill units in terms of making reads and when deciding to take advantage offensively or just get the puck out and stay in structure?
Well, there's a certain point in time, but it's very, very few and far between where you can, go offensively. Our objective is to kill the penalty, we still have to get better. We have to get better at clearing pucks, winning battles in those areas. I think we've done a little better job in the last couple of games, but at the same time, there's always improvement to be had.
Lane, the other night was the first time Berkeley's centered a lineup here. I'm just wondering what you thought about his ice time, how he played making that move, and sort of in general what you've seen him learn both on the wing, but then now playing a little at center.
Yeah, he's. I think he's embraced the wing position, and for him to move to center, we wanted to have a little look at, how that looked for him. Being a centerman in the National Hockey League is no easy chore. I thought he handled it fairly well. I do think that at times he might have been in between wing and center, which is, in fairness to him, is understandable. But certainly I love the fact that he wants the puck on his stick. Playing center gives him a little more opportunity to, have the puck and carry it through the neutral zone.
You got Eeli Tolvanen playing on that top line. He would obviously like to have a couple tallies in the goal column there, but he's got some points that he's been racking up on this streak here. What aspects of his game made you want to put him there?
Well, he's a guy for me, and yes, he hasn't scored yet. He knows that. We know that. But it's the other parts of the game that, that I've liked. He's second, I believe, at this point. I'd have to double check that, but on our team in hits, he's competitive. He's competitive around the net, and I think that for me, anyway, he can score goals. So it's a matter of him, bursting the bubble and then taking off from there.
How do you and your staff balance the group's intensity defensively and structure, and what they're committed to doing with their need to want to create 5-on-5, and how sustainable is that before they're understandably going to get a little bit frustrated in wanting to create offense, but even though the defensive side is certainly there?
Yeah, it's a great question, actually. If you look at what we're establishing and what we want to establish, we want to be a solid defensive team. I've always said that our offense will piggyback off of that. And that hasn't changed. There's some things that we have to be able to do better offensively. and the solutions are there for us. And, you know, I felt like, you know, last game we took a better step in that direction. We had a number of great scoring opportunities against Chicago, and we'll just look to continue to, you know, to build and grow from that standpoint. But it is a good question, you know, and we've had trouble in a couple of home games here creating some offense. So we just have to get. I just think we have to get a little bit more greasy, and more pucks to the net, and more bodies to the net. And I think we did a better job of that against Chicago.
What can you say about how critical Joey Decord has been to the start that your team has had, and also kind of what you notice about how he prepares that allows him to be as consistent as he is?
Well, he's been very good. Obviously, he plays the puck amazingly, one of the best I've seen. So that's helped us, you know, in a lot of different areas with our breakouts and whatnot. You know, he wants to be in the net every game. He's not going to be in the net every game, but he certainly does want to be in the net every game. And, you know, that's an admirable quality, something that you want in a starting goaltender. You know, his preparation just is that exactly. He's ready to play every night. Okay.
Thanks, Lane.
Yeah.